and hopefully everyone will be enjoying the last day of June. All right, this is also Eye Safety Awareness Week, Honor America Days, Adopt a Cat Month.
Honor America Days.
Days. Uh, let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything this week. This is, I think it's just the Eye Safety Awareness Week, which is always good to watch your
On the
eyes.
4th of July week?
Well, that's what it says. I'm leaving June, going into July. And taking care of your eyes. They always say that, like, this is what I've heard, that, like, if you if you're swimming in the pool and swimming underwater, and of course you got your eyes open, and or you get water in your eyes, you're not supposed to rub your eyes. You're supposed to, like, kind of, which is not easy to do, because that's the number one thing we usually do, is just start rubbing them. But you're supposed to kind of let them, kind of just let it blink, or I guess kind of dab the towel maybe, like, on your eyes. Don't rub the chlorine in your eyes.
Yeah, I didn't have goggles growing up, so I was always
No.
just, I open my eyes. Until this day, I just open my eyes.
I do too. I do too. And I've done that, like, especially like when you're in the ocean or something and you open them up, it's like, oh my gosh.
Dr. Mindy Gunn's holding her ear somewhere.
I know.
I'm like, no.
She said, "You do that?" I do. Yeah, I do. I do that in any body of water that I'm in. My eyes are open. I'm gonna see.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what
yeah.
I'm.
I mean, like I was yesterday going under the water and tickling the kids' feet, like,
Oh yeah.
with no goggles. I was, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't use goggles.
Don't use goggles. Totally
They break. They're not a guarantee. My eyes are there. They're ready to be used. So
I found I don't know. Sometimes my goggles and never, like, they weren't tight enough. Mine just leaked, and I'm like, I don't want these things in my eyes. They're making it worse for me to swim.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, so eye safety, of course, sun. We got some sun. When you get sun in your eyes, be careful. You don't want to burn your eyes. So just making sure. And then, of course, everybody's going full throttle. Everybody's staying up late, waking up early, and rest your eyes. They need it.
Yes.
Take care of your eyes.
Yes. Rest those eyes.
All right. So what's new with Americans for Prosperity? Anything new going on? Getting ready to sell.
It was funny because you were
America.
Like, June was so productive. Well, we're still watching the Big Beautiful Bill. We're still watching that Big Beautiful Bill, and I know that you've been seeing, at least down here in Southern Indiana, Congresswoman Houchin is also doing a lot trying to push that bill through. She did vote for it, and she's continuing to support it, and just kind of put the awareness out there of what's in it and why we need it. And so that's kind of, I'm hoping fall, that we're maybe early, the earlier the better, right? Because what Americans for Prosperity is specifically looking at is that the Trump's Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, and that will raise your taxes and you'll owe more money to the IRS. And that's, it's a fight that we've been fighting now for months, and we will continue to fight it. We're not going to go away until, until I guess that the fight is completed, and we're not going to give up on it. We are still, there's people that are not aware of it. We're still going around hosting those events, explaining and answering questions that people may have regarding this bill, and why we think it needs to pass, and why we need to make these tax cuts permanent. Because we will see, I mean, each household will be affected. And there's nobody special, anything like that. You will, your taxes would go up. Back during Trump's first term, he passed this big, huge tax cut that we've seen in history, and they're set to expire this year. So that's kind of what we're mainly focused on. We've been hosting events throughout the state with our federal elected officials, giving them the opportunity to talk to constituents and kind of give their view on it and how they feel. So just make sure you're keeping an eye out for those events, and really doing your research, but also asking the questions so that you're aware and why we think this would be beneficial to get passed. I know that, like I said, I know down here, our Congresswoman Houchin, she has come out and she's been very supportive of the bill. So we look forward to working closely with her in the event, we're able to make that happen. And like I said, being able to get her in front of it, and also Americans for Prosperity, answer any questions you may have.
Right. Okay. Awesome. We'll keep us in the know on that. Definitely.
Yeah, we will. Like I said, up in did Congressman Stutzman, Congressman Yakum has both come, and we've had great events up there, a little further north from here. So we just really want to educate the people and
Right.
let them know across the state why we all need it back. We need to call our federal elected officials and let them know that, hey, we as constituents, we the people,
Yeah.
want this bill to be passed.
Right. I understand.
Which we have a great group of leadership here in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Very blessed in that aspect. Some of the states, which is another thing, we are active in other states. So it's good to know that although in Indiana we are blessed with a great delegation, but the bill has to pass with all the states, not just Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some other states that are having more of an uphill battle than what we're currently having. So just something to keep in mind if you want to get involved. There's plenty of opportunities to come and be a part, and to help get this bill passed. We'd love to have you. We'd love to meet you where you are, and to get you plugged in a way that would be beneficial. And that's in many aspects. Maybe you don't like federal issues. Maybe you're more of a state person. We have those too. We'd love to have you. Love to have you through the doors. Love to have you at our events. And just come and find what you're passionate about. And we'd love to educate you, help you, hold your hand, whatever it is it may be. We're here for you.
Right. Well, and that's good to know. And if somebody wants to know more about this, and to contact you, and we'll definitely.
They can go to Americans for Prosperity Indiana. They can go to americansforprosperity.org. There's also Protect Prosperity. Or then contact me directly, Angel Purlee, and we'd love to have you.
Love that. Well, Americans for Prosperity stays busy, and you guys
we
really
do.
You
stay
support a lot, and you're actually out and about all around, and even sponsoring a baseball team this year. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's
we down here in Southern Indiana, we went ahead and we saw an opportunity, and we recently have taken a sponsorship with a Southern Indiana traveling baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the privilege of I've been to a couple games, and these guys are ready to rock and ready to roll. And we appreciate them and what they do for us, and we're planning some things with them that we look forward to doing. And again, we will get those out as soon as we make those plans. But yeah, we think that giving back also is something that is very important. So these people, these kids, these parents, these coaches are very excited to team up with us on some things that we have coming up within the year.
Right. I love that. Well, and that's important. And of course, always, summer fun, different things going on with Americans for Prosperity. I think it's nice, and I think it's cool, and it's awesome to get involved. And of course, what a great way to get back to your community and the surrounding communities area.
Yep. Absolutely. We want to stay as active as we can in each of the counties. So we're all across the state, not just in Southern Indiana. So just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Speaking of summer, it's funny because we have actually entered into summer, but I feel like, you get the 4th of July, and then you really start, hotter than the 4th of July summer. Well, here are millennial parents are behind this trend, but some say it's not realistic anymore. What do you think? Okay, let's find out what this trend is.
I will tell you.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's hear it.
Okay, they have a new trend, and it's called 90s Kid Summer.
Okay.
The idea is to give your kids the kind of summer you had back when everything was a lot simpler.
Ooh, I don't know. I'm a 90s baby, so I can be the judge of this.
Okay. All right, let's see how we go, okay? It seems things like running through sprinklers.
Okay. I'll give him that. I was going to say, running through the grass.
Oh,
Yeah,
love
just
that.
barefoot grass
Love every bit of it.
shoes. What
Yeah.
shoes?
That's the wonderful thing about summer. Okay. Drinking hose water.
I don't remember. I'm not saying I didn't do it. I don't recall doing that.
You did. Yeah, because that's I was not going to allow everyone to keep coming in and out. So the hose was there.
I don't ever really remember stopping to get drinks. So,
well, that's very true.
I mean,
that's probably
food and
100%.
drinks did
Yeah.
not exist.
No,
I felt like it was just play,
No.
run, do all the
No.
things.
And I don't think back then that it was emphasized as much how valuable drinking water is like it is now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
probably.
So no, you probably didn't. No. And I think definitely, yeah. But I can remember always drinking from the water hose. You waited. Okay, like if it had sat there for a little while, it was warm water. So you waited for the water to get.
I just don't recall ever waiting because I feel like that'd be a huge inconvenience for me to have to wait.
Wait for that warm water to get out. Then when it's cold and it's yeah. Riding bikes all day.
No, I don't think I did that.
Oh man, I did. Yeah.
I mean, no,
like,
just because living on that hill, riding the bike down there, it was just.
Do you realize how many accidents happened on that hill?
Nothing to do with me, I can tell you that.
Riding.
You know
bikes.
how many recently?
Yeah, there's even more recently. Yeah, all around. Yeah. Riding bikes all day. Okay.
We also that to me, and I could be wrong, pertains more like depending on where you grew up.
Well, that's
like,
true too.
If you grew up like in a subdivision or closer to town type thing, I mean, because if I was biking, miles, and I was not old enough to be biking miles into town.
Yeah.
So that's a little different, but
yeah,
I would say that depends on where you live.
True. Let's see here. Also, all with little supervision. Yeah. Why would
you mean little to no?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with no supervision.
None at all, right? No supervision. That's exactly right. Let's see here. Basically, just get outside and don't come back until it's dark.
That's true.
Okay. So why is all of this coming back and trending? Plus, there's a general feeling that kids don't get to be kids anymore, but a 90s kid summer actually is doable in 2025. So it is doable, okay? Experts say it might be a great idea for some families, but not others. So don't force it. It's harder to do if you live in a city or a no safe area or both parents work. There's also a chance your child isn't capable of having a 90s kid summer. If you force them outside, they might not know what to do out there. An expert at Michigan State explained it's like, quote, you can't just have the overscheduled technology saturated life for 9 months of the year and then switch into an absolute freedom. We haven't prepared our children for that. Isn't that funny? Wait, so we're preparing our children for what used to come natural. Now we got to prepare for this, okay?
Well, again, this goes back to what's more, available, because not all this technology kid stuff was, available as it is now. And so, I don't know. My kids are not very technology oriented. We do go outside. We actually go outside all year long. And so I don't know. I guess we're a little unique in that situation because we are outside a lot. The only thing, TV is the most technology that my kids get at this point.
Right. She says if you force them to act like a 90s kid, they might just end up stressed out and more anxious than they'd already were. So
yeah, but get some vitamin D.
Yeah. So I think the thing for those that are concerned, gradually, Do it slow, baby steps. Take, I guess, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. You know, maybe just a little bit of water from drinking from the hose. Maybe just a little bit of bike riding. Maybe just a little bit of running through sprinklers. I don't know. I don't. I think the kids will adjust. I think they'll have fun. Personally.
Yeah, I mean, my kids love the sprinkler still.
Oh,
I got a kid that can't leave the hose alone.
how,
It saves life. That hose is on. He's there and touching it and will not stop.
yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's not a bad thing though, you know. Love that. Love that, love that, love that. All right. So it looks like the average 4th of July cookout will cost, how much do you think the average 4th of July cookout will cost this year?
The average, I don't know how many are going to cook out. I don't know. 150, 200.
No, it said will cost $70.92.
Oh,
I'm trying to figure out if that's like per person. $70.92. Okay. It's actually down 30 cents from 2024. It's down this year. That's the first time I've ever heard anything down with groceries. 30 cents. So I was trying to figure out with 30 cents, what could you, I guess you could buy like an ear of corn. Aren't they like sometimes like 25 cents?
I do not buy corn. I do not know.
Okay. I'm thinking that sometimes you can get it like, I was trying to think, what could you get for 30 cents that you couldn't, you know, anyway, 30 cents down from 2024. It looks like the report on the cost of the average 4th of July cookout is actually down from last year a tad bit, but not enough to move the needle. So it's just a little bit, 30%. 30 cents is not enough to.
I can't. How many people are at this cookout?
Okay.
I mean.
Well, here we go. Now I have not pre-read this.
Let's hear the specifics.
Okay. The average backyard barbecue for 10 people will cost $70.92.
10 people.
That's not bad.
$7 a person.
Yeah, that's the average.
Well, I know what we're doing the rest of the summer.
This year, down 30 cents from 2024. That's just over $7 per person. Yeah. They say inflation and lower availability for some of the stuff has kept prices high. If you're just doing burgers and hot dogs, it might cost even less. If you're doing ribeyes, obviously it would cost more. The 12 items that factor the normal cookout would be ground beef.
Doesn't say how many pounds.
No. Okay. No, it's just saying like these are, I guess, the normal items. Chicken.
Oh, they have chicken for $70 too. You get chicken hot dogs and hamburger for
hang on. $7. Pork chops. I don't know how they're doing this. Buns, cheese, potato salad, pork and beans, potato chips, cookies, ice cream, strawberries, and lemonade. Mm-hmm.
I am going to need somebody to negate this because there's no way you're buying all of that for 10 people.
He's got a comment here. It says, I feel that $70 is more like the average beer budget for a backyard barbecue. I don't know. I don't know how. No, I'm joking. I didn't buy
beer either, so I don't know.
I don't either. I don't know either. I don't have any idea on the beer.
I don't know that, but I will say I don't believe it.
I don't know how you do it. I could see like if you were doing just hot dogs, right? I mean, right? Maybe hot dogs and chips.
Hot dogs for 10 people, absolutely. Hot dogs and chips for 10 people.
Can I just say though, you can't beat a good hot dog. You
put some ketchup. Ooh, you know what? Some good old cut up onion on that thing.
You hadn't made any of that
mustard.
Stuff. Don't tempt me with a good time. I just think it's like, no, a hot dog you can't beat. But if you are, here's the thing I'm at too. But like if you're doing like ground beef, then you're going to have to, you're going to have to make all of the hamburger patties. You've got to, on chicken.
Sometimes they come pre-made. You can buy them pre-made.
Yes, but yeah. Chicken. So I don't know what kind of, like, I guess, are you making barbecue chicken, I guess? I don't know.
It must be like one chicken, one burger, one hot dog for 10 people. Like 10 each. Here's 10 of these, 10 of these, and 10 of these.
I just went to a cookout on Saturday, and I'm telling you right now, you
need to call and ask.
I will. I need to know that because actually,
they have pork and beans.
No, they had it all. Salad. They had everything, and let me just tell you that they had $70 worth of hamburgers.
That's what I'm saying.
And then they took another $70 for the hot dogs. They had another 70. Don't even. I don't know how in the world. But anyway, I don't know how they're doing this, but maybe they're getting some things on sale. I don't know. Maybe there's some good budgeting. I just wish that they would have told, if they're going to do it, that's great. But please let us know like how you're doing this, right?
We need some more details.
Yeah. Yeah. Details. How are they doing that? Yeah. But anyway, so I guess I guess if you kind of do like catch some like burgers and hot dogs, I guess on sale, maybe.
Okay, well let's see here. Okay, a pound of meat usually feeds about. And if are we talking adults or children? Because if you're talking adults, I mean,
it did not. I thought they.
That also plays a factor.
Well, yeah.
Because a pound of meat, I can probably feed me and the kids.
Yeah. Right.
But I mean, that again, are you talking? No adult, I don't think is gonna. I mean, if I'm feeding 4 adults, there's no way.
Well, and especially like I feel like that too. Like if you're having a barbecue or having a big like that, I feel like people like, because usually it goes on for a while, and I feel like from the beginning to the end, people eat again.
Oh yeah, or they pick.
They
come back. They graze.
And that's when maybe the first time through
Which
they
is
don't
why
get as
I'm
much.
a big fan of the grab and go food. Like grab your own bag of chips and go, or grab a cupcake and go. Grab, grab and go food. I really like.
Yeah, I have
grab and get the heck out of here food.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know
about that.
I feel like people just, like you said, they just graze. Everybody just has, here's some more. Let's go get some more food. You pace yourself, right? Well, anyway, good luck to anybody doing that, right? Which you will be doing.
If you do it, let us know how.
Which you'll be doing, so we shall see.
Well, I was thinking about that, and I don't think I'm gonna. No, there's no way I'm gonna meet $70, and B, I'm not doing the burger, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be. I'm gonna say no go on that. Okay. All right, so there we go. But may be the odds be in your favor for those doing
drinks.
it.
Did they include drinks on that?
No, it did not say drinks. Oh yeah, the drinks alone. Yeah.
A water hose. They're thinking. Who's paying that water bill? That's what I want to know.
Back to the water bill. That's right. We're gonna be drinking some water here. All right. Here are some things that happened 10 years ago this week.
10 years ago this week. Okay.
All right. Joey Chestnut lost the Nathan's hot dog eating contest for the first time in 8 years. He ate 60.
60?
He ate 60, and competitive eater Matt Stoney ate 62. It's still the only time he's competed and lost since 2006. He holds the world record of 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes, set back in 2021.
That is, no.
I think if he came to your barbecue, would you not get really nervous?
No, $70.
Yeah, I would be like,
obviously he was not invited to that barbecue that we're referencing.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I bet Joey doesn't actually get invited to a lot of cookouts.
Or it'll just get a few packs of hot dogs for Joey.
Yeah. Oh, Joey's coming. You know what I mean? No, honestly, like I bet like I don't know Joey personally. We need to interview him. Maybe I need to talk to him. But I'm thinking that he probably doesn't eat like that on a normal.
I mean, surely he doesn't eat hot dogs on a normal at this point, right?
Yeah, surely. Come on, Joey. Nobody else has had a hot dog. Everybody gets their plate before Joey.
We need to know if Joey eats hot dogs outside of the competitions. Oh my gosh, is he training or is he like?
Well, that's what I mean. Are you
point?
Always in training? I mean, or do you, I mean, what's an athlete do like that? I don't know. I just know that everybody better get their plate before Joey goes through.
Yeah, Joey, do you have to eat the bun?
Yes, you do. In a hot dog eating contest, yes, you do. That's why they dip them in water, which makes the soggy bun. If you, okay, I'm sorry if anybody's eating breakfast. I'm so sorry.
Hot dogs. Look, everybody is like, no more on the hot dogs. Although it's 4th of July week, everybody's gonna eat a hot dog.
You gotta eat a hot dog. I'm telling you right now, there's just absolutely nothing like a hot dog. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
You have consumed worse things. Don't be saying ew.
Oh no,
I'm just saying to anybody
yeah,
being like, ew, hot dog. No,
right.
come on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you. These are 10 things that happened. Or excuse me, 10 things 10 years ago that happened this week. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner announced their divorce. The announcement came one day after their 10th anniversary.
What a way to celebrate.
Okay. Donald Trump heard you're fired over and over again on NBC, Macy, NASCAR, and other dumped him after he launched his campaign.
What? That's it? You're done?
Well, launched his campaign. I haven't pre-read this, and called somebody. He called some people some not good names. So
What?
yeah. So
You heard it here, folks.
I guess. Okay. Okay. I guess yes. So anyway, a little bit of trouble there with them. Okay.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay. Diddy fell in a hole at the awards ceremony. He was performing with Little Kim, Mace, and Faith Evans and others while celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Bad Boy Records. Okay. Rihanna did something no other artist has done. She announced that she was the first artist to rack up more than 100 million gold and platinum song certifications. The Tonight Show got put on hold after Jimmy Fallon almost lost a finger. He tripped on a rug, caught himself on a countertop, and his wedding band got caught, and he was in the ICU for 10 days.
10 years ago. Who knew?
I did not know that. Okay. People were wondering if South Park would make it to 20. Co-creator Matt Stone claimed calmed fans' nerves by saying they wouldn't stop unless they got canceled. Season 27 set to premiere next Wednesday, July the 9th. Okay. This is 10 years ago on this date. The trailer for Creed was released. People weren't sure if the Rocky spinoff would work. It went to make $174 million. Creed 2 and Creed 3 made even more. So these were some things that happened 10 years ago this week. Exciting. Also, I want to say, speaking of the 4th of July, I want to say that I went to Thunder Over a Beeline over the weekend, and hats off to everyone that put that on. And beautiful fireworks show, great food, great family, great fun, and great entertainment. And even though, we got some bad rain on Saturday, there was a little bit of window of opportunity. And
I was like, our rain lasted just minimal.
Yeah. Well, like it happened, and then it like kept dripping down, kept going, and finally there was a break, and the fireworks were wonderful. Hats off to Brad putting that together, and a great time. So I think there's going to be a lot of great fun celebrations, don't you?
Always.
Coming up this week.
Always.
Yeah.
I think that the 4th of July being on a Friday is helpful.
Yeah.
For some that work maybe that Monday through Friday. I know some people work on the weekends and they're like, yeah, it doesn't matter to me. But I think that, there's going to be some fun things this week. And we tried out the Monon Trail this weekend. For the first time. Okay. We definitely walked it with it sprinkling, raining, whatever. And that was fun. It was fun. It was the kids. I did not bring a stroller, so I
was going to ask you, how did you play that? Did you bring a stroller?
I mean, we were at the end of the day, so I was like, you know what, just to go ahead and wear yourselves out. Go ahead, just walk the darn thing, do the dang thing. And so that's what we did, and I think we walked a couple miles.
Oh, you did really good then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's something that's really getting utilized. I hear a lot of people are doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to a point. It was funny because I was trying to explain to the kids that whatever you walk, you have to walk back.
Well,
And because they're like, let's go here, let's go to that, let's go to that, and I was like, okay, I am happy to do that,
uh-huh.
but you have to remember we have to walk whatever we walk, we have to walk it back. And
Yeah.
so then there was a couple places where like, man, I wish I would have parked my car here. Man, I wish I would have parked my car here.
Mm-hmm.
But this is part of the learning experience, and so now we know for future. But it was a good time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Well, did you pass anybody? Did you see a lot of people on there?
Nope.
No?
Nope. And it could be the weather.
Yeah, that could have been. Yeah.
I mean, maybe we were just the only crazy people out there in the rain. Well, it wasn't raining when we had the idea.
Uh-huh.
And then once we got there, and I was like, you know what? Let's just do it.
Let's do it. I think there's a lot of people actually that are doing,
I don't know the
trail.
different places to start it. So I don't know, like, well, I mean, I did see some places where you pull off. I don't know what the, I don't know if there's like an etiquette, like this is where you start.
I think there are maybe, I know several different places. I think it's just kind of do your own thing.
The only thing that I wish there was some sort of marker to like say this is, well, I guess depending on where you start, it wouldn't be, like just showing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was the only thing. But I know that it's in a work in progress, and
Sure.
I get that. But
Sure.
it was nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The kids were intrigued, and they really liked all things. They were checking out the nature.
I was gonna say, did they
see some of the city lights as we were walking back? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was.
Mm-hmm.
They knew Calvary was there once they saw some city lights.
Yes, yes.
And I just keep following the line.
It's so funny. It seems like with kids, it seems like they'll run all day. I mean, run all day. But then when you actually go for a walk, sometimes it's like we're getting tired.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, remember my arm's hurting.
Yeah, I just kept saying the faster you get back to the car, faster you get us down.
There you go.
Yeah,
I like that thought.
Yeah, so I think we were trying to actually. I think we did a couple miles. So.
Well, that's really good. Well, I think the different, because it's trying to connect, several different areas. So I think I don't really know that there is like a real great spot, but there's several spots. But I think if you saw I wish they would have seen some nature. I wish like some deer would have came out or.
Well, there was a
something.
deer.
Was there?
We did see
because they love that. Yeah,
we did see a deer. We saw one.
Uh-huh.
And that was cool. They were really intrigued on that. Now it wasn't there on the way back, so they were kind of disappointed in that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they did. I mean, they definitely got. I mean, it's very almost like secluded. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're really in nature. Well, at least the way we went, like
Mm-hmm.
the entire walk.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of, so you do get that kind of feel for it. But they did good. They did fine.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of deer out right now. A lot of baby deers that are growing up. There was a lot of. It seemed like there was a lot of.
We did see
a lot
some
of birds
bucks getting their antlers back. So
yeah,
preparing for fall here. Fall, winter, ready to.
Exciting time.
Yeah, I'm about to be.
Yeah.
Before you know it.
I know, it's crazy. And we already passed the 6-month part of till Christmas, so that's crazy to think of it, isn't it?
I know. I thought Christmas was yesterday.
Now we're gonna be. Yeah.
I need summer to last. I feel like though summer took a hot minute to get here.
Well, that's true. This is true.
So summer needs to take a hot minute to leave.
It might. I was gonna say it might just do that, and maybe it'll stay around a little bit longer. It seems like like in October and maybe November we get some warmer times.
I'll take warm. I'll take warm all the time.
Well.
Like I said, I mean, it was funny because that was when we were having that heat, right? I was just, everybody said so hot. I'm like, I am a freak of nature. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love the heat. I'm not going to say I didn't get hot a couple times, but I do. I love it.
I love that. Well,
I'll take that over cold any day.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of different, memes say that, like for all those that were wanting this heat, don't be complaining,
Nope. Here
no
for
complaining,
it. Nope.
no complaining.
Happy as a clam.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you a round of applause, but it looks like, speaking of round of applause, they've got a story here. Most of us will clap even if our performance is not good.
Yes, that is true. That's
probably when they actually need more.
I have witnessed this.
They need more
firsthand
clapping, right?
multiple times.
All right. Well, a poll found most Americans will applaud at the end of a performance no matter what. Around a third said you have to earn it. Yeah. Okay, so if you're at a concert and it's not good, do you still clap at the end? Yes. A new poll found most of us always will because it's polite and expected. But some of us are a little bit stingier with giving an applause.
I'm not. I don't think so.
I think everybody give them an applause if they're up there performing, right?
I mean, unless you got like a point to prove, I guess.
Yeah. So I was somewhere the other day. There was a young couple, okay? And they were in love, and he had his arm around her, okay?
And it was absolutely hilarious.
No, but the funny part was, so whenever it was time to clap, he had his left arm around her, and he'd go to clap, and he would take his right hand up and like clap, and like he was hitting her in the face.
Oh yeah, that's a no for me.
And so but it didn't just happen once. So at that point, I can't concentrate when I'm supposed to concentrate. I have to see what's happening over here.
Do we know the couple?
No, I did not know them at all.
Okay,
No.
I
I did not know them.
Quit it.
But they clearly got my full attention because I wanted to clap for them because they put on such a good show for me. But she tolerated it, and I thought, you are such a good woman. I wanted to say to her,
yeah.
You, my dear, you.
Well, you take your other hand and like slap your leg.
Well,
you absolutely cannot.
Then take
your arm off for a second.
But he was in love, and he was not going to move
That's
that
fine.
arm.
Take your other hand.
He was loving
and slap
her,
your leg.
and he did not want her to know that. But it was, but it was also if.
Talk about going the extra mile.
They all no. I mean, I felt like the woman needed an applause, but they were like. Here's the things, he wouldn't compromise. He was not going to
clapping.
No, she just smiling, and she was okay with it.
Was he messing with her? Maybe he was messing with her.
No.
Maybe he was trying to be funny.
No, there was no.
There was nobody.
No, I promise this was completely okay. He was not going to compromise. He was not going to give up on me moving that arm. He had that arm around her, and he was not going to lose that arm around her. Okay. But then when he wanted to applaud, instead of like moving the arm away from her, or like you said, taking the right hand and clapping his leg, his arm, or his leg, or I've even seen couples take their hand like, and he'll like hit together and like kind of clap together like that. There was none of that. None of that. Every time there was a clapping situation, he took his right hand up.
Oh my gosh, you gotta draw that line somewhere.
I just want to say I noticed, okay? It did not go unnoticed because at that point, I can't get my eyes, I can't stop watching.
Maybe you were on What Would You Do and you didn't do anything.
What was I? There's nothing to do. They had it under control.
Maybe you'd be like, hey, you know what?
No, she was fine with it. That's the thing.
I don't think he was being mean or anything.
No, he was not. No, he was actually, he was covering all of his bases. He was taking care of his lady. He had his arm around her. He was giving the people praise with his applaud. No, I'm not saying in any shape or form that it's wrong. It was just something I had not. It caught my attention. Okay. And several times it was catching my
I don't
attention.
know about it.
Okay, just saying. I'm just saying. I don't know that that would have been, you know, what I mean, I think probably the first time there might have been,
I think
uh,
I've been like, what?
there
What are
might
you
have been a
doing?
big,
Hey, listen, I'm gonna need you
yeah,
to clap with your other hand.
yeah, there might have been a big something. Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't know that she's a better woman than I am. Let me just say. Okay, speaking of round of applause, here we go. All right, so applaud even if it sucks. Okay, a new poll found you must always, most of us always will. Okay, all right. 60% of Americans will clap no matter what, but 31% said no, they have to earn their applause. Okay, another 7% said they're not sure if it's just automatic clapper or not, but 2% of Americans claim they never clap at the end of shows. What? You
What
don't clap?
show? Like a
A show. Like, I guess, like a performance. Why would you not? 2% said they never clap. Have you ever looked around? Like, I love to watch people. Have you ever seen? I have
people
seen.
watch.
Yeah, I do. People watching is the best. Okay, and I actually have seen people just sitting there not applauding. Maybe we need to know.
Okay, I have seen a couple people do that too, and I'm like, are they not gonna clap?
Yeah. What's wrong with you? Why are you not
Yeah,
clapping?
come on.
Okay. All right. So 1 in 4 Americans admit that they've given someone a round of applause they didn't really want to. They just felt pressured into it. Why would you not want to? What
Maybe
possibly?
you weren't happy that they're about their performance, or that they won something, or that they didn't, like as you said, they didn't do a good job. They didn't want to.
Well, okay. Well, first of all, if they're on stage and they've got the who knows, they've got the to be brave enough to be up on stage to do that, then give them applause. And maybe it was not the perfect person you wanted to win. Maybe you had somebody else in mind, but you know, they won, and so give it to them. You know what I mean? Let them have that
Maybe
moment
they're
in
thinking
time.
like, I don't have to.
Well, I know, obviously people are thinking that, but I feel like give it to them. You know what I mean? They won. You know, let them have it.
I mean, if you're gonna go and be in the audience, it might be
One
like a
moment in
respect
time.
thing, maybe.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's people out there that are like, I don't clap, and they have like a specific reason as to why. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, here we go. Now we're even going further. For example, have you ever actually didn't want to get up, but when it's a standing ovation, you stood up because you felt pressured?
I have done that a couple times. Yes, that I've done.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I do. I have seen people where standing ovations given, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not getting up. I don't care."
Yeah, I have that. I've seen people do that too. But I do want to say, and it's not that I don't want to stand up. Sometimes I just, oh, are we doing this? Okay, we're doing this. We're going to stand up, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's also times though where I think you should stand up and people don't. I
I
mean,
agree.
there's
Yeah.
just there's no. I mean, like there's no rule book on it. It's just
Uh-uh.
kind of, I don't know, in the moment type feeling, I guess.
Yeah.
Depending on what it's for. Maybe there's like an etiquette or like a respect thing for it.
Yeah. Right, right, right. Well, I think you're right. And I have had moments where I felt like they should have stood up and gave it like stood up, and like some people just, it's hard, you know, they just don't see
Well,
that.
okay, so in this career field, right? Like
Hmm.
you meet a lot of people that deserve the respect and recognition. And so I have been in rooms where maybe an elected official, I don't want to say ranked, but maybe, maybe you had like a state elected official that got, a lot of respect, and then you had the federal elected official not get as much. And so it's like, I don't know how people pick and choose, but like I said, there was an opportunity where it was like, well, you've stood up, and let's just take the elected official out, let's just say guest speakers. Maybe your headliner didn't get the standing ovation, or
Right.
the introduction stand up, that they deserved. And so it's just like, I don't know why people pick and choose on certain stuff like that. And so sometimes I try to be a little more mindful of that and give that if they deserve it, even if I'm the only one, standing in the room.
But I'm not mad. Like if okay, so let's say there's a performance or a something like you're talking about,
An
event, and somebody stands up and like on their own and clapping, but because they've been moved, and I'm okay with that. Like that's cool.
Well, even like
that's awesome. I if you feel
clapping
like
during certain speeches,
and if you feel moved, then if that's something that moved you, then
you see it during those types of events. You see it in churches, where people get and not everybody does follow suit in those moments. But also I think that it also helps maybe recognize that it kind of brings like a highlighter to what they just said, which I think is pretty cool. Like maybe you missed it or maybe it didn't register, and then once, somebody made it a big deal, then maybe, it's like, oh yeah, that's really good. So there's benefits of that.
All right. And after a beautiful performance of the Jukebox Heroes this coming Thursday, or then the parade. It's always fun time to clap. And then also I'm speaking of the fireworks. After the fireworks, always people clap after the fireworks and let out woohoo.
Maybe they'll get some woohoos
or woohoo or whatever. Yes. So anyway, those are some times to do that. Okay, real quick, and we got one more story if we have time, real quick. Okay, a woman swallowed a fish bone and it came out the side of her neck. I just want to be careful with that. I know. I know. And we love fish. There's a lot of people that are catching fish and eating fish. I'm all about that. But I really want you to be careful. Be safe out there. Okay. A guy shared a photo on Facebook after his wife swallowed a fish bone and forgot all about it until it came out the side of her neck. Okay. It was about an inch long. She felt as soon as she swallowed it and went to the ER, but they couldn't see anything in the x-ray, so they sent her home. Oh my goodness. She assumed the bone had dislodged itself. She still had a sore throat, but figured it was just from all of the pain that she had from swallowing it. But then 2 weeks later, she noticed a spot on the right side of her neck looked swollen. She thought it might be her thyroid. So she went back to the hospital, but a second round x-ray, she still didn't show anything. They gave her pain meds and sent her home again. She didn't realize it. The bone, until she was applying a pain patch they gave her, pushed down on the neck, and one end of the bone popped out. She went back to the ER a third time. They yanked the bone out. Her doctor said they'd never seen anything like it, and she told reporters she's planning to avoid fish for a while, possibly forever. So those are good public service announcements. That's very scary.
Because I like fish. I like seafood.
Well, I think I do too. I know I do. Yeah. It's just, it shows it. Oh my God.
No.
Yeah. So that's like, but going 3 times, your truth, you'd be like, oh, come on, there's got to be something there, We're not seeing anything, but she knew her truth and went back a third time, and there it was. Oh, I pulled it out. That's a lot. Yeah. So the moral of the story, the reason why I want to get that story in is please be careful out there. I love fish. I love everybody eating fish, and yay for you. And I'm a seafood eater too, but just be careful and make sure that it's got the bones out. So, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's thank our sponsors.
Yes. Let's thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Purlee Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, McAllister Land Consulting, First Harrison Bank, the Louisville Bats, Schneck Hospital, Springs Valley Bank and Trust, and Temple & Temple.
All right. Let's have the best Monday ever, Angel.
That's right. Happy Monday.
Thank you, Americans for Prosperity.